We're live with other Onyx Path news. Welcome. My name is Matthew Dawkins. I'm very pleased to see you here today. I'm recording this just in advance of this week's Monday meeting. So who knows? Who knows? Everything I tell you now might go out the window. Actually, no, that's not the case because I'm going to be talking about things that have happened already. And it's very rare that we try and retcon something out of existence. But it's interesting that I should raise that because the Book of Lasting Death for Mummy the Curse was released 2 weeks ago. And Mummy the Curse, as we know, is a timeless chronicle all about traveling through time in a non-linear fashion. One of the first things I wanted to bring to Mummy the Curse Second Edition as its developer was this idea of a timeless existence where your consciousness exists across multiple points in time simultaneously, meaning you can play a game that goes forwards, backwards, all kinds of things. And that's basically what the Book of Lasting Death helps expand. So yeah, if we wanted to go back in time and say that 2 weeks ago we didn't release Book of Lasting Death, playing Mummy the Curse Second Edition may be the way of doing it. Playing cursed immortals that are locked to constantly awaken, even when they want the sleep, and not knowing at what time in history they're going to wake up, or the future, it should be said. The Book of Lasting Death has gone down very well, I have to say. It's a source book that is packed with material, both player-facing and storyteller-facing, which is one of my ethoses as a developer. I like to provide utility in the books that I develop, and I think Book of Lasting Death has that in spades. Lots of new powers, lots of new playable options too, new guilds, along with new immortal types, and lots of new antagonists and more. So yeah, do check out the Book of Lasting Death. But that isn't the only reason I'm here. Isn't even the main reason I'm here. I am feeling draconic, Nicholas. Thank you very much for asking in the chat. It is because Scion Dragon was released in PDF and print on demand last Wednesday. This is a big release. This did very well for us when we did crowdfunding for Scion Dragon and Masks of the Mythos simultaneously. And it's sometimes difficult to gauge which one is a more popular concept. I think most people who get into role-playing like dragons for some reason. It's almost like they're ubiquitous with the hobby. But, you know, the mythos, Lovecraftian stuff, not to forget, you know, Robert Bloch, Augusta Leth, and all the rest, all added lots of things to the canon that we now look at as esoteric horror. And therefore, having great old ones, elder gods and the like, in as gods in Scion was also a mass appeal. Now, Scion Dragon has been doing very well for us since we released it in PDF and print on demand. And it's one of those books that I want to draw your attention to, not just because it's great fun to be able to play a creature that can shapeshift into a huge worm. And these dragons, of course, are not just linked to fantasy, but also to real-world cultures where there's a huge number of them that have some kind of massive serpent in their mythology, whether we're looking at Mesoamerican, whether we're going all the way over to East Asia, or whether we're looking more at the Central European. There's a lot of different dragons in our combined and multifaceted history. It is also another book that looks beautiful. The art in Scion Dragon is just stunning. It's one of the most captivating books I think we have released in recent years. And, you know, there's a lot that I love. And obviously my heart belongs to They Came From in many ways. But Scion Dragon, I think... And I don't know, I may be damning myself here in some people's eyes, but I think it's the most beautiful Scion book we have put out so far. Now, put that theory to the test, because it is linked below, and you can back or pick up a copy, PDF or print on demand at this point, and let me know. And let us all know. Go on drivethrurpg.com if that's where you purchase your book from. If you've not backed it already to receive a traditionally printed copy. And leave a review, leave a rating. That is something we very much appreciate. That's not the only news for Scion right now, though, because also Scion God is still raging away on backer kit. We have stormed through our stretch goals. We have passed our absolute optimal number of backers and funding. That's not to say we don't want more. You know, we always want more. But yeah, we have definitely burst through our expected threshold. Twice over at this point. And I think that, yeah, it's testament to the devotion of you, the customers, fans, role players out there who really love Scion, and wanted to get the next book in the set for, well, Scion, Origin Hero, Demigod, and God. What comes next? What indeed? This isn't necessarily the end, and there's been a fair amount of talk of, is this the final big book for Scion? I'm not going to guarantee that at this point. We base our plans at Onyx Path on a lot of things, of course. Partly it's going to be customer response and demand. Partly it's going to be artistic vision, creative vision, what we want to see next, and going back to that thing that I always harp on about utility. We want to make sure that any books we're putting out there are books that are going to see use at the tabletop. So, you know, we put our heads together, we come up with whatever comes next in whatever form that happens to be. So do keep your eyes peeled. There is probably, almost definitely, more to come in the list of Scion releases, especially in the realm of source books. But yeah, keep your eyes open. Kurgast says, does Onyx Path have any plans to have deals with European retailers, as so many of your products are near impossible to get in physical form over here? So that's interesting, Kurgast, because we do distribute via Studio 2, who have links to Devium, I think it is, and they are the largest distributor in Europe, including the UK, where I happen to be, of course, which means you can order our books through friendly local gaming stores. Now, I appreciate that it isn't always as easy as just going in and saying this is what I want. The main problem with, well, being in this industry in general, being in a small industry, is the biggest companies will warehouse books and will send them out en masse to a lot of stores. And sometimes those books won't sell, which means those companies will then pay in turn for the storage of those books, the return of those books, the pulping of those books, and so forth. Now, we store all of our books. It tends to be in one or two central places. They can be ordered, and they can certainly be ordered by friendly local gaming stores via Devium, via Studio 2, and they will get the traditionally printed copies. But the customer needs to go in the store and ask. And if the person behind the counter looks blank-faced, you need to say, you can order this through Studio 2. You can order this through Devium. You can order this through Indie Press Revolution. There's a lot of places you can order our products. They're even on Amazon in some cases, although I appreciate most retailers aren't going to be ordering their books through there. But yeah, there are places you can go. The thing is, it takes the customer and therefore the store to order them in. My preferred strategy, and I do this, is if I'm going to order one of our books through a store, and I often will because I like to put our books in circulation. If I want to pick a book up, I will try and do it via a shop rather than online. I will order a couple of copies, and sometimes I'll even pay for the second one. But point being, getting more than one in circulation means, yes, I can take one, and then one can sit on a shelf and someone else can pick up a copy. Anyway, we have Onyx Path Gaming Night coming up on the 25th, and that means you need to get on Start Playing. Link is below to list the game you want to run and the games you want to play. Please go ahead and do so. Final thought before I join the Monday meeting is it is Legend Lore sale month this month, which means you can get loads of Legend Lore releases for 90% off. We're doing a lot of Legend Lore focused content on the Onyx Pathcast. Just last Friday, I did an excellent interview with Steffi Devan. She was incredibly insightful about the upcoming Legacies of Earth sourcebook for Legend Lore, so do give that a listen. And I see what you're saying, Kirgast. Please email theonyxpath@gmail.com with your query, because we may well have an answer for you then if you're in Norway. So please do ask. That's the email, theonyxpath@gmail.com. Get in touch and we may well have a solution for you. Anyway, I've got to go. Meeting calls. Bye-bye.